Welcome back, everybody, to World of Warcraft. It's been a little while since we've done a video in the Extra Stuff playlist, and, well, since we've been here in general. At the time, currently Season 4 of Shadowlands is underway. I told my guild I decided I was going to take a step back and not be a part of it this time. Just really wasn't up for it. So I've been messing with other stuff, playing other stuff for, doing other things with the channel as well. And also just kind of doing some more casual stuff in terms of like working on alts and doing other stuff here and there. One of those things I wanted to actually try and do was finish leveling a goblin to get the heritage armor. So yes, I actually finally did make a goblin. I was torn between a few classes, but I ended up once again deciding to make another Death Knight. This is her, PapaNeeks. I thought Trixie was a fitting name for a female goblin. And timeline-wise, it's a little hard to kind of describe this because, well, the idea here is that our character still would have gone through the Goblin Starting Zone. For those of you who may not know what that is or have seen that, I did a separate playlist showing all the starting zones of World of Warcraft. You can check that out if you want to see the Goblin Starting Zone. So I know this doesn't entirely make sense, but I'm trying to basically like have it be like timeline-wise, she goes to the Goblin Starting Zone. At some point soon after, she gets killed, and then the Lich King brought her back as a Death Knight. Whether it's the second or third, well, we'll just go ahead and say the third, just to try and... Obviously, I know that means that I would have had to take her to the Death Knight starting zone, which was during Wrath and such. I know timeline-wise it doesn't quite make sense, but I guess storyline-wise I'm trying to say that she went through the Goblin starting zone sometime after she died, and then the third Lich King Bolvar, because we found out later as we entered Shadowlands that he was, in fact, bringing more Death Knights into the fold, including Pandarans and allied races. So yeah, that's how she became a Death Knight. And I'm saying that she went through the Goblin Starting Zone because that, of course, is going to play a role here. So we're about to do the questline to obtain the Goblin Heritage Armor, another one of those Heritage Armors that was introduced in BFA. I've shown you guys the ones for the Worgen, the Dwarf, and the Gnomes, as well as the Taurens, and what was the other one? I'm trying to remember what the other one was. But they were gradually introducing these, and they had one for the Goblin as well. And I just hadn't, made one and leveled one yet in order to obtain it. From what I understand, it has a decent sized quest line, just like some of the other races did, including the Tauren and the Gnome and such, so... We're going to go ahead and do that here. And I'm also bringing that up because I believe the questline kind of involves characters that we would have met and interacted with during the Goblin Starting Zone. So just kind of, yeah, keep that in mind as we're going through this. So if you're familiar with the Goblin Starting Zone, this should feel familiar.
Over here!
Well, if it isn't PapaNeeks, you're just the goblin we've been looking for. It's been a long time since Kazan, hasn't it? We had some good times cruising around together back in the day. Now, I don't want to get all sentimental on you, but Sassy Hardwrench sent me to find you. She's putting the gang back together for a big job. Big! Look, I wish I had more time to catch up, but we've got to split. Time is money, you know. If you want on the job, find Sassy. She'll fill you in on the details.
The Heritage of Kazan. So remember, Sassy was our assistant back on Kazan, because remember, our goblin character was a big deal. We were, like, one of the more important goblins there, apart from Gallywix. So, and Sassy was basically our main assistant, helping us out.
Sassy's arranged a ride to Kazan for you. Meet her at Hardwrench Hideaway for more details. I'd offer you a lift, but we got places to be. Time is money! See you around, big shot.
So you can have your car, I'll just ride on my dragon. So we're going to Stranglethorn. Ooh, how perfect. The blimp is here. Or the Zeppelin, excuse me, I said blimp, I meant Zeppelin. What perfect timing that the Zeppelin was already here waiting for me. I couldn't have timed that any better. Hey, Sassy.
Wow, look who it is. What's happening?
Look at what the cat dragged in! Do you know how long we've been looking for you?
Let's get back to work.
I'm glad you're finally here. And I've got an important delivery to make, and you're the goblin that I trust most. Yeah, I know it's not saying much, but it's hard to find good help these days. This package is for Hobart Grapplehammer. He's got a workshop in Crapopolis, and I need you to deliver it to him. He's been working on something big lately. Deliver the package, and for the love of money, don't drop it. You have no idea how long it took me to locate this thing.
Got a ride to Crapopolis waiting for you on the dock. Oh, and Gallowix bought out the whole town, so, try not to get on his bad side.
By the way, as a reminder, this was released during BFA, so that's why we're talking about Gallywix here, because remember, at the current time of Shadowlands, we don't know what happened to Gallywix or where he is. But in BFA, Gallywix is still, like, active because he's working with Sylvanas, so... Is that the name of the town in the Motherlode dungeon? Because it certainly looks like it. Yep, that's where we are. The Motherlode!
Watch your step, kid. You're on Gallywix's turf now.
Uh-huh. Also, just as another reminder, I hate Gallywix. Absolutely hate Gallywix.
Heard you're working on something new, Hobart. Remember that I own the rights to anything you invent, in perpetuity.
That contract is null and void! You forged my signature!
What a wild and unprovable accusation! Crapopolis and everything in it belongs to me. Now, get to work on my new invention. Let's go, boys.
Do you have a question?
Gallywix sure has some nerve threatening me in my own laboratory. He thinks he can just do whatever he wants to whoever he wants.
The shipping label reads, delivered to Hobart Grapplehammer in Crapopolis, Isle of Kazan.
Sassy Hardwrench asked you to deliver this package? Ah, these must be the parts I ordered last month. I can finally begin the final round of testing on my latest invention.
Back to the drawing
Now that you've delivered the necessary parts, I can begin testing my latest prototype. I call it the X-52 Personnel Armor. It'll be nearly indestructible. Gallywix has always coveted my inventions, and now that he knows about the X-52, I'm sure he'll be up to no good. I've got to complete the prototype before Gallywix comes up with a way to steal it from under me. I could really use an extra set of hands with the experiments. Can I count on you, PapaNeeks?
If that bloviating buffoon thinks I'll simply surrender my greatest invention, then he is sorely mistaken. The X-52 Personnel Armor will revolutionize the Goblin arms industry. With your help, I can finally commence the next phase of testing.
Oh gosh, these poor test subjects.
But
then again, this is also very Goblin. These goblins would be like, yeah, sure, we'll volunteer to get blown up.
Test number 1. Sub-zero temperatures. This test simulates an environment that is an order of magnitude more frigid than Northwind. No vital signs from the test subject, but the armor remains intact. Success!
Like I said, very Goblin. That's Goblin thinking in a mindset. Ah, the test subject died, but the armor still works. It worked. It's a success. Very Goblin.
Test number 2. Extreme thermal stress. If we want this armor to withstand an explosion, then it certainly needs to be fireproof. It seems we've lost another test subject. But the boots are unharmed. Progress! Test number 3.
Oh gosh. Explosive console. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Oh, wait, hold up! This ain't what I signed up for! I'm out of here!
Have you no respect for the scientific method? Ugh, it's so hard to find good help these days.
He was like, I am not getting to get blown up. That's one of the smartest goblins I've ever seen.
Speak up.
Good work. The experiments were mostly successful. However, it does look like we'll need to find a new lab assistant for the explosives testing.
We have field tests to conduct.
I'm gonna need some additional components in order to complete the next phase of testing. Right now, what we need most are thermoplugs and thermoplug adapters. I'll explain what they're for later. Crank Greasefuse runs a shop near the entrance of the town. Go speak with Crank and get him to fork over the necessary parts. I don't care what they cost, just tell him to bill me later. I can't be bothered to negotiate right now. I need to prepare the modifications to the X-52 personnel armor.
While you acquire the thermoplugs, I'll devise a new explosives test. And meet me in my storage facility when you return.
What's up?
Thermoplugs, eh? Yeah, I got some more here, but they ain't cheap.
Be good.
You need thermoplugs? Well, you came to the right place, kid. But I ain't giving them to you on credit. There's way too many schlubs who haven't paid me back the money they owe. I'm in over my head here, and if I don't get paid fast, I'll be out of business in no time. Look, I'll tell you what. If you can muscle those no-good goons into paying me my money, I'll give you the thermoplugs as payment. You won't find a better deal than that.
Make those shady thugs pay up, and I'll get you those thermoplugs.
Hey,
What's up?
you owe him some money. Pay up.
Be real. Yeah. Be careful out there.
Just take that off your corpse. There we go.
Talk to me. Keep it real.
Yes, my minions.
I would like to think all these other guys are watching going, I ain't gonna fight a Death Knight and all of his ghouls.
Here, you can take the money. Take it.
Hey, how you doing?
Make sense.
Yeah.
He hides some muscle. Oh, fine, take the money.
Yo!
So, you got my money? Here you go. Alright, it's all here. Good work, kid. The thermoplugs are all yours. Send my regards to Grapple Hammer and tell him to name one of his inventions after me.
Keep it real.
A deal's a deal. Here's the thermoplugs you ordered. Be sure to let that old grouch Grapple Hammer know that I won't be giving out any more handouts. If he needs more thermoplugs, he better be ready to pay up. Anyways, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Now get lost. You're out of me.
Tell Grapplehammer that if he needs more thermoplugs, he better pay up.
Okay, I know you wanted more testing on explosives, but this seems a little overkill. Oh wait, this is a goblin. What am I talking about?
Yes? What is it?
Yes, these are exactly what I need to finish the landmines for the upcoming experiment. Oh, I didn't mention landmines? Well, I thought I did. Oh well, I'll explain everything later. It'll be fine.
Come on now.
Now that we have the thermal plugs, we're ready for our next test of the prototype X-52 personnel armor. Unfortunately, my lab assistants have either quit or expired. What a pity. But their loss is your gain. Now you get to wear the armor. How exciting! The next test will be conducted by my new mechanized lab assistant. Head over to the big main workshop and press the big red button to begin. Don't worry, I'll be giving you directions over the X-52's built-in intercom.
Congratulations! You are officially my newest lab assistant and test subject. Don the X-52 personnel armor and proceed to the main building. I'll provide further instructions once you're prepared.
Well, I am a Death Knight, so I've already died, so... By the way, note that this laborer is trying to break the ice to get the dead test subject out of the ice. That's the mechanized lab assistant.
Excellent! Pull the red lever in front of the mechanized lab assistant to begin.
I think this is supposed to be similar to what the Heritage Armor is going to look like. In fact, this may actually be the Heritage Armor we get. We'll find out.
System activated. Greetings, user. Initiating combat simulation. Please prepare to be pummeled.
Prepare to be pummeled!
Thermal stress test in progress. Explosives test initiated.
Ow.
I don't have a target.
Didn't even notice that apparently my ghouls died during that.
Speak up!
Yeah, this is fantastic! You're currently suffering a moderate amount of internal bleeding, but the prototype armor performed just as I predicted under the extreme levels of repeated blood force. The X-52 doesn't have a scratch on it.
We have field tests!
The prototype X-52 personnel armor is ready for the final test. How are you with loud noises and sudden bursts of concussive energy? For the final test, we're going to strap you into the personnel armor and have you traverse a minefield. I've placed a refreshing coconut beverage in the center of the minefield. Consider the drink a fitting reward for reaching the oasis and surviving the inevitable explosions in the process.
Proceed to the minefield, I mean testing area, as soon as you can.
Again, none of this surprises me in the slightest. Why? Because these are goblins. This is exactly what I expect from goblins. Walk through a minefield? Sure! Why would I expect any different? Oh my
Instructions for this
gosh.
test are simple. Traverse the minefield and retrieve the refreshing coconut beverage at the center. You needn't worry about the mines. The X-52 will provide adequate protection from the explosions.
Sure it will. It's like, where do I even start? Because you'll notice I didn't exactly step on that mine, yet it still went off. That's one of those hitbox issues. I'm like, well, like, I feel like I could probably walk through here. Nope. Oh boy. And that's why I love Death Knights. Death's Advance and AM Anti-Magic Shell. Screw these mines. I'm just gonna walk through all of them.
Did you enjoy your drink? It appeared to pack quite the punch. I'll be waiting for you in my laboratory with the latest test results. Splendid work!
I wasn't sure if that was actually going to work. I was like, can this work? Just Death's Advance and then AMS. And it worked. Good thing I chose to have her be a Death Knight, huh? I'm not sure how I would have gotten through that if I was either a Shaman or a Warlock. Maybe I could have... I wonder if a Warlock Gate could have worked.
Hobart. Hand over the armor, and this all goes away.
Cease this at once, Gallywix! The armor isn't here!
That's so? Looks to me like it just walked through the door.
I would do my customary /spit on Gallywix, but they took that out of the game, so I can't do it anymore.
Do you have a question?
These goons were demolishing my workshop! We've got to do something fast!
Run along now!
Oh, this is bad. Trixie Neek's really bad. Gallywix and his goons are destroying my workshop! But he's got another thing coming if he thinks that I'm gonna hand over the personnel armor. You've gotta get down there and clear out his goon squad before this place and all my inventions go up in flames!
Your goons don't intimidate me! My assistant will handle them!
We'll see about that.
I need to target something first.
You gotta be kidding me with this! Time, money, you get the drift.
Well, if it isn't Trixie Neeks, I can't say that I'm surprised to see you here. You've been a thorn in my side for far too long. Maybe it's time I make the thorn disappear. For good. And I think it's time for you to leave, Gallywix.
Leave the thinking to me. This ain't over, Grapplehammer.
Well done, assistant! That should buy us some much-needed time! A new assistant! Excellent!
Good work getting rid of Gallywix, Trixie Neeks, but I've got a bad feeling about this. We need to find a buyer for the X-52 before Gallywix comes back. Who knows what he'll try next?
Ambition is the
The
mother of
X-52 personnel armor is finally complete, and Gallywix has been sent packing with his tail between his legs. I've got you to thank for this, Trixie Neeks, but we're still not done. The best part is yet to come. We're gonna hold an auction and sell the X-52 personnel armor to the highest bidder. Sassy Hardwrench should have a list of interested buyers ready to go. Head over to Hardwrench Hideaway and let her know we're ready for the auction.
Leave the cleanup to me! Return to Sassy and gather the buyers for the X-52!
Back to Stranglethorn we go.
I'm all ears, boss.
So, the invention is complete, huh? Good work, kiddo. We'll be rolling in moolah in no time.
Come on.
While you've been assisting Grapplehammer with his newest invention, I've been hard at work finding potential buyers. This is gonna be a private auction, so we're only inviting the best and the brightest. The cream of the crop. The creme de la creme. Got it? I've narrowed the potential buyers down to an A-list of only the wealthiest, classiest, most connected goblins around the... well, minus Gallywix, of course. Head out and deliver these invitations while I finish up preparations for the auction.
You round up the buyers and I'll set up the auction. We're gonna be rich.
Alright, so we finally made it to Gadget Sand. Oh. Like, can I actually attack her? Whatever.
Yo!
Oh, hey, look, it's also, Dread Shredder and Kelsey Steelspark. Huh. Of course, this is the, Baron of Gadgetzan. Of course, remember, if you saw my stuff with the Rogue, you'll know that Noggenfogger is basically the financier for the Rogue Order Hall, so anyways. On behalf of the illustrious and still neutral Steam Weedle Cartel, I hope you enjoy your stay. Remember, everyone is welcome in Gadgetzan. Everyone except pirates. Your invitation, sir?
Keep it real!
Grapplehammer has a new invention? Well, say no more. I'm in. Okay.
Loktar, go forth to victory.
I can just fly over here, actually. Now we're gonna go see Pazik. Over here, of course. 1,000 needles. Oh boy.
Hey, how you doing? Go get him, champ.
Grapplehammer came out of retirement. I can't wait to see what he's cooked up. And now we go see Gazlo. Alright, so now we're here in Ratchet. Whoop, wrong way. Hey, Gazlo. How's my favorite goblin doing?
Hey, you looking for work?
Hey, Thrall paid me and my boys well for helping out with the construction of Orgrimmar, so I decided to set up port here. We do most of our business through Booty Bay and Baron Revolga's. Your invitation?
So, Hobart finally stood up to Gallywix, huh? Good for him. I'll be there.
Now we take the boat from Ratchet to Booty Bay.
Boss, we got trouble.
What'd I tell ya?
You delivered the invitations? Good. We're gonna need all the help we can get. I've got some bad news for you. Did I say bad news? I meant really bad news.
Always got
Boy, am I glad to see you. We've got a bad situation on our hands. While you were away delivering the invitations, Gallywix and his goons took over Crapopolis. They're holding Hobart Grapplehammer hostage until he hands over the armor. You have to stop Gallywix before it's too late.
Word out of Crapopolis is that Gallywix and his goons have taken over the town. You better hurry.
So now we get a big final scenario. Hey, guys!
Got a contract with your name on it.
Gallywix's goons are all over the place. It looks like this little town's in big trouble. So what's the situation here, Gaslow?
Gallywix has lost it. He's holding Grapplehammer hostage. That ain't good for business. We've got things under control out here. You'd better put a stop to this nonsense.
So I've got to fight my way through this town.
Citizens of Crapopolis, as your landlord and employer, I'm assuming direct control of this town's operations. And don't get any smart ideas about taking it back. I'd hate to have to cut my losses.
Too far away. We need a target. Get closer. I need to target
Listen up,
something
everyone.
first.
First goblin to liquidate this intruder gets a hefty bonus and a promotion.
Oh, hand over the chute or else.
Do your voice. I'm through working for Gallywix.
Take him out, minions.
My invaluable assistant. The X-52 is contained in that chest. Put it on, quickly. I've added a turbo function to the X-52. Activating it will vastly increase the armor's power, but will also overload its core. That being said, do not hesitate to utilize it against Gallywix. It may prove necessary.
Potential side effects may include dizziness, nausea, nerve damage, cardiovascular failure, involuntary explosion, and sudden death. Very goblin. So, I guess we are on our way for a confrontation against Gallywix. Gosh. I'm having flashbacks to when I used to do Mythic Plus and BFA and when I had to do Motherload. Oh my goodness. Like, there were some dungeons where when you did them in Mythic Plus, it was like, oh my gosh.
I'm out of range.
Some I didn't quite look forward to all that much because, well, let's just say there were quite a few things in those dungeons that made it quite a painful experience. And I would include this dungeon amongst those because, whoo boy, dealing with the trash in this dungeon was something in Mythic Plus. Alright, here we go.
That armor's mine, you small-time scare! Who left all these landmines laying around?
To get closer. It's too far away.
By the way, I still don't have this mount.
I'm out of range.
But then again, I'm not regularly farming it like others are. Haven't had that much luck actually trying to get it. But like I said, I don't have too many attempts on it, so... It would be nice to get someday.
Nobody messes with me! Nobody!
What? Whoops. Okay then. I didn't realize that he was gonna repair himself. I thought the fight was over. Apparently not. Apparently he'll just res himself, or give himself back some health.
Lucky dudes.
I wonder how long that this fight is gonna be in that case. And I'm all the way back here. Wonderful. So I have to run all the way back to where he is. I would say don't you just love long runbacks, but then I'm sure there are some from the vanilla era that would be like, no, you don't know what those are really like. Actually, I do. I've been told about what that was like from those who did go through it back in the days of vanilla, so I may not have personally experienced it, but I have pretty good sources in that regard.
Small-time scrub!
I need to get closer.
Ah! Whoops. Come on, Galliwix, come on.
Now, assistant! Activate the turbo! You've done it now,
got him.
Mook. As soon as I get out of this thing, you're dead. What the? Hey! Hey! Someone open up this piece of junk!
But of course, Galliwix. Just as soon as we renegotiate our contract. Yes? What is it?
The X-52 personnel armor is ruined beyond repair. But at least Scrapopolis is saved, and Galliwix finally got what he deserves. Although the X-52 personnel armor's power core was destroyed during the battle with Galliwix, the invention was a success. I doubt anyone will be interested in purchasing the rights to the X-52 without a working power core. So why don't you hang on to the armor instead? It is quite stylish after all. Now that Crapopolis is saved and Galliwix is conveniently trapped inside of his own mechanical pummeler, I think I'm gonna renegotiate that contract of his. He is a captive audience after all. Thank you for everything you've done for me, PapaNeeks. You've saved Crapopolis and put that no-good double-crossing Galliwix in his place. Take the X-52 personnel armor along with my thanks. It looks good on you.
Back to the drawing. Well, unfortunately, the X-52 can no longer provide you with protection. But it can still provide you with style. Why don't you keep it? Consider it payment for services rendered. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a trade prince to extort.
Are you shaking me down, Hobart? I'm impressed.
Yeah, of course Galliwix will be impressed. So, I was right. This is, in fact, the heritage armor that we were wearing. The Heritage of Kazan. And of course, it looks very goblin. We've got the rocket on this side. We've got 2 more sticks of dynamite on the other shoulder. We've got bombs on our belt. We may as well be... I'll bet Junkrat would love this armor. Let's of course go ahead and toss it on.
Shop, browse, smell.
Huh, there's no cape for it.
Good fortune to all friends of the Grummels.
Go ahead and favorite that. So, the pieces are the jacket, the stompers, the hand grips, the goggles. There's 2 goggles. Okay, so you can actually just wear the goggles, precision goggles, or you can wear insulated headgear with the goggles basically on top of your head. Okay. We've got the leg guards, or the leg guards. We've got the shoulder guards. The utility belt. The wrist wraps. And as I said, the insulated headgear. So that's how she looks with the goggles on. Let's go ahead and put on the other ones. There we go. Where she has the goggles on top of her head. And you can actually see her Death Knight eyes. I'll have to figure out a cloak that matches this as well. But this is the Goblin Heritage Armor. Finally have it. And that was the quest line to obtain the Goblin Heritage Armor. So again, if you want to acquire this yourself and go through this yourself, make a goblin, level it to level 50, and get exalted with the Bilgewater Cartel. Which is why I would actually suggest don't use a boost. You could use a boost if you want to get your character to 50, but I would recommend against that, since I would say just simply use the leveling to spend time in dungeons, because it's going to be the way. Remember, it says here that with the tabard, their reputation gains while in dungeons will be applied to the cartel. So the more dungeons you do with this tabard, the more reputation you're going to get with the cartel. So don't just level like with quests and such. Actually try and do as many dungeons with this tabard on as you can. So yeah, and you don't have to do a Death Knight, but you know that's one of those options that you can do. It's been that way since Cataclysm. Excuse me. So yeah, that's all you really need to do in order to have a shot at actually getting this armor. Which, of course, yeah. I've heard that there are a couple other things that you can get from BFA that actually go along with this. Like, I've heard there's a weapon you can get. Hold on. In the raid in BFA, which I believe was BOD, Opulence, I believe. Okay, so there's this crown you can get. It's a headpiece. It's an actual crown. You could get that if you wanted. That goes well with it. As far as other pieces of gear, hold on, because I've heard... Here you go. A Goblet of Glittering Favor. This is a one-handed mace. This goes pretty well with this, doesn't it? There's also this dagger here, but come on. It's a mace that's a goblet full of golden coins. That's so goblin. I love it. Oh, I should try and get this for my Demon Hunter. Actually, I think I already have, because it says I don't think it... but anyways. But yeah, you can also try and get these crowns, which I love that it looks like there's actually one for each armor type. So if you, in fact, do want one of these for any other armor type, you absolutely can get that. I love that there is one for each one. Of course, that was Azurite armor back then. I love that also lets you be able to have an ability where you pry one of those gems from the crown, which is part of the mechanic of the boss fight. And it has a 20-hour cooldown. Holy mackerel. I may try and farm that at some point. I see people doing Mog runs in this dungeon or this raid, and I don't blame them. There's some good stuff to get in this, and I'm going to try and get that at some point, because that seems pretty great. So it's a one-handed intellect weapon, so it looks like that would have been for, like, you know, mages, warlocks, priests. So anyways, yeah, you could see this matching with the armor pretty well. Yeah, so anyways, that's the Goblin Heritage Armor questline. And I will see you guys next time. If there is going to be another Heritage Armor I try and get, I think the only other two I do not have are the Cult Tyran and the Mechanome. I think my Cult Tyran is still chilling in the Druid Order Hall. And she's like maybe around level 22 or something. And my Mechanome is still like at level 10. I've done nothing with her. So it's going to be a while till I get either of those. So I'll see you guys next time.